Hi everyone, welcome back. I decided to take a couple months off from doing videos. I had a few other projects that I wanted to work on, and since it's winter time, there really wasn't much to show anyways, but I figure I'd give you an update and show you why this greenhouse is basically empty. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreon contributors for helping to support this channel. Our top contributors are TrueAquaponics.com, GreenLifePlanet.net, GlassBottleOutlet.com, and GrowPockets.com. Thanks a lot! So you might remember from last video, I had a white fly problem and I just couldn't get rid of them. I was hoping I could freeze them out, but they seem to be very persistent. You can see from these traps, they're still covered in white flies and fungus gnats. So anything I did to try to get rid of them, it didn't work. So I decided to just let the rest of our lettuce mature and we'd eat it over the winter. And then finally this morning I finished cleaning out the rest of the deep water culture beds from the lettuce. That will give me another month or so of having no plants in here, and then I'll start up again with a new batch of lettuce and have things up and running again this summer. This media bed was filled with strawberries and I did decide to remove all of those, but I did save them and cleaned off all the leaves and just left the rootstock behind and put them into cold storage. So hopefully I can resurrect most of our strawberry plants. Even after the last hour after cleaning out the rest of the lettuce, I put in a couple of fresh white fly traps and I still have them flying around in here, so they're a great indicator for letting you know if you have a pest problem, but they don't kill them or get rid of them. The only plants that I did leave alone were the oregano. I harvested the lemons off of this morning. The flies were coming to the plant for the yellow, but they don't bother the leaves. You can see I have a sticky trap in here that have a bunch of flies on it too. I still have my coffee plant in here. I have some lower leaves that died. I think it got frosted a little bit this winter because I did let the temperatures go real low in here for a few nights, but I think it will come back. And I still have my tea plant and some thyme hiding back here that the flies don't seem to bother. Unfortunately, I did have to cut out the banana plant. They should send up some new shoots this spring, but the leaves were a huge magnet for the white flies and they were just breeding like crazy on there. So I did take that out too. It's unfortunate because it was surviving throughout the winter. The fish are doing fine. I essentially stopped them from feeding. I give them a little bit once in a while, but their water temperature is down about 43, 42 degrees. So they just sort of sit here and hang out and wait for spring. Not having any food doesn't seem to bother them a whole lot. Also, by not feeding them, I don't really have to worry about any ammonia spikes in the water without having any plants in here. So the system is still nicely balanced, and in the spring when I get some new plants in here, I'll start warming up their water again and we'll get the system up and running great. I am heating this year mostly with wood. My old modified stove has been doing great and can heat the water and the air at the same time. The secondary burners that I installed a few years ago haven't caused any problems. It's running now. My window's smoked up a little bit so it's hard to see in there. At some point I'll do a video, tear this thing down and show everybody what's happened with it. Moving on outside, our wood supply is holding up. So far I've burned about twice of what I normally did from last year. It's just been a horrifically cold winter so far. And I'm not even keeping the greenhouse as warm as I did last year. Just enough to keep the water from freezing and the plants. Even now I'll let the water get a little bit cooler. Obviously the outdoor bed isn't doing anything, and Last year I drained it down all the way. This year I drained it. The drain must have frozen up, and with all the snow and rain that we've had, it's filled back in with water, so now I have a 10-inch thick block of ice in here. It'll melt out fine. It sort of melts along the edges just when the warm air hits into here, so it shouldn't damage the liner, hopefully. The new greenhouse frame is up. I think last video I left off on this where there were just a few installed, and did a couple updates on Facebook here and there, but haven't done a video showing the rest of this. The good news is the covering is in. We decided to go with the solar wrap. It's a bit more expensive than standard plastic covering. However, it lasts a really long time and I don't want to have to keep replacing it. So our next video I'll definitely detail this a lot more. So that's about it for now. If you aren't subscribed to us on Facebook, I do leave a few more details about what I've been working on. I try to cover it all in the videos, but don't get it all the time. Also, if you don't belong to our emailing list, drop me an email at info@bigelowbrook.com and I'll add you in. It's probably been about 2 years since I've done a mailing, so you don't have to worry about me spamming you. But I would like to get into doing some more updates through email in the near future. Thanks for watching.